What's going on out there, Junkie Nation? It's your boy Kenshiro. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. So, obviously, today being Wednesday, March 20th, a day we were really anticipating has finally happened. Not Ghostbusters. God, I got Ghostbusters on the brain. That's Friday. Today is X-Men 97. X-Men 97, first two episodes came out. So, we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about Ghostbusters 2 and a whole bunch of other stuff. But let me show you who's going to be on the show with us today. Returning for the first time after a long time. Glory Calcaterra is here, and so is GQ, and so is Daido Kuji. What is up, everybody?
Hi.
Hello, Glory, it's been a while.
It has been. It's been way too long. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. And it just kind of happened, right? I've been grinding, working a Kickstarter where I have like 22 hours left, and Ken was like, "Hey, who wants to come on the show?" And I was like, "I'm free for once."
Right.
I was like, "Here I am. I'm gonna come hang out." Absolutely.
So
definitely wanted to talk about X-Men.
So we are going to pass Lori's Kickstarter page. In fact, it's like we're in class. You know, she's going to be the girl that passes the notes to that boy that she likes or whatever. I don't know if she ever really did that. I'm just saying that might be projection, but we're going to put this in the chat. It will be shared out everywhere. Please do us a favor, support Lori and her Kickstarter. She really just needs one more backer.
I need one backer to hit 100. And we unlock another stretch goal.
Yeah, if we can get more, that's even better. More is always better.
You can literally go choose no reward and back $1, and it gets me to 100.
I am very sure somebody will do that. I also want to congratulate Kenshiro for starting the show with audio this time.
Hey. Yes, I did fix that. I 100% did that. I wasn't after the show last time. I was not going to get caught slipping. Be like, hey, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. There's no audio. No, we have fixed all that. So we're all good here. But anyway, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are still kind of matriculating their way into the chat. I saw Fall of Marvels on Facebook. I saw Super Nerd is over on Facebook as well. Anybody else out there?
RJ Best checking in. Cool. Jody Riley checking in.
What's up?
Marcus A64 has been here since before the stream started.
Okay. All right. No, that's all people here. The other Steve. Other Steve is here.
Said he subscribed for 34 months in a row.
Man, that's a long time.
Man, that's a long time. I mean, dedication. Appreciate that. Dedication. Really appreciate that. So, all right. Marcus A64 is right. Today was a national holiday, 100%. A lot of us had our childhood revisited today with the debut of X-Men 97. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way because we got a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about. X-Men 97, revisiting of the X-Men, the animated series from back in the 1990s. First two episodes came out today, 60 minutes, I'd say, of pure epicness. Let's talk all about it. GQ's only seen one episode, but the rest of us, we've seen both of them. Almost had to browbeat Lori into seeing it because she was like, "I'm so busy."
What's funny? You were like, you should definitely watch them. There's only 2, and I was like, "Oh, if there's only 2." You know what I mean? Because out here, I'm thinking like there's 12 to watch, and I just don't. I'm not going to squeeze it in. But we started watching it, and I was just like, "Next, I need to see them all." Like it's really good. So I'm glad that you were like, "Go watch it today," and I was like, "I don't know." Like, oh yeah, no, it's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing, 100% amazing. In fact, it's so amazing. We need to talk about it in all of its entirety. Obviously, as much has been made about X-Men 97, its animation style. Some of the voice actors have been changed. They're not the same. But I think the one of the main differences that we really liked is that it felt like going back home. Characters and voices and styles that we were so used to, even from the opening, right? The opening with the theme, even though it's slightly different, obviously, because Bishop is in there, Morph is in there now. I don't know. Maybe it's a slight nitpick, but I'm not a fan of the way the opening was.
Really?
I like it.
No. I mean the actual music. I know they were revamping it and they wanted to update it. I still like the original better than I like this one. You know what I mean? That's just me.
It's because you have years upon years of listening to the original. Yeah. This one will grow on you, just like the original.
That's true.
I mean, it's reminiscent.
Yes, it is reminiscent. Yeah.
When I started watching it, I turned it on and it started going through the credits. I was like, wait, am I in the right one? Like I had to close it out and went back to make sure. I'm like, this is the right one, right? And then I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. And then I noticed the subtle changes. But yeah, off the jump, I was like, I clicked in the wrong one. Like, where's the
One thing that I noticed about the end credits is they still do not complete the entire roster as they're clicking off the different characters.
Yeah,
I'm like,
whatever.
I'm like, at least finish the damn roster off. Like, God dog, but whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, it was. All right, so the first episode opens up, a character that some people may know, other people do not. Roberto DaCosta, aka Sunspot, has been captured by the Friends of Humanity. Is taken to one of their hideouts, and the X-Men come and bust him up. What'd you guys think of this whole scene?
You skip the first. That's not how it starts.
Really isn't.
I mean, what? Okay, if you want to get technical, yes, they're talking about Professor Xavier being murdered,
assassinated.
That's assassinated. I mean, to the public at large.
Story.
I mean, but to the public at large, they think he's dead. Okay, they think he's dead, but we know that he's not. Lalandra came and took him off and all this other kind of stuff. But for me, the show really kind of started.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the show really started when that scene
is dead, and I was like, whoa.
I mean, because to me that was just them, setting the stage of kind of what came afterwards. But what did you guys make of that?
Yeah, and Star Wars started off, with them on Tatooine instead of, I don't know, the giant ship in, tractor beaming the other.
Look, man, we getting off. We can come on, man.
You can't skip establishing.
Come on.
Don't skip establishing. That's
I mean, it is important to the plot with what happens later, right? Because
sure, okay,
but
that's true. All right, but what did we think of the whole Friends of Man who's seen the first action sequence of the team in action? I felt like I think some people have been talking about how this show in the first 2 episodes let Cyclops kind of shine a little bit more, whereas he kind of really didn't get a chance to do that, or they purposely didn't let him do that in the original. What'd you guys think of that whole scene, even with Storm and Bishop and all that other kind of stuff? What'd you guys think?
I thought it was action packed and entertaining, and I thought it set a good tone for what the bad guys are doing. That they had Sentinel technology, that they were developing into handhelds, and that the X-Men are still fully capable of handling that situation, and with even some sarcasm to boot. He's like, "Oh no, I give up." Just kidding. Just blast the whole building. We're like, okay. So I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was cool. Hey, Dido, you're gonna get a kick out of this one. So my daughter, as we were watching it, she was like, "What's up with the Mega Man Buster weapon that the Friends of Humanity?"
That's hilarious.
What is up with that?
They definitely had they upgraded their technology, and they definitely were rolling around with some Mega Man arm cannons. But the whole thing is that I didn't watch it because I don't want to see woke X-Men.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's just a joke.
That's low hanging fruit, by the way.
Well, I was like,
it's a joke.
Did I miss something?
No. People before the show came out, people were getting all up in arms saying that X-Men is woke now, blah blah blah. Where the series X-Men comics, the TV show, what have you, has always been about inequality in humans and how certain humans are treating other humans, and they're allegories for the stuff that's going on in the real world. And there was just a lot of people that were going crazy. And I haven't heard or seen anything on the internet as after those first episodes, but you can't tell me the first episode where they're in the friggin' place saying like "die mutie" and all this other stuff. I want to hear those and I completely forgot that the original series had them wearing clan hoods, blue hoods, similar to Cobra Commander. No, the show is magnificent, in my honest opinion. I think it's, to me, the first 2 episodes better than the whole entire 90s series, because as I think I saw Fallen said, it matured with us. It is a little bit more mature. The animation, you can tell there's better animation because there's more budget put into it. It's not that, oh my gosh, the crap in the last season from the '90s show was just
Oh my god, it was
terrible.
terrible, man.
It was
That
so
was
bad.
terrible.
They didn't even expect to do that last season. I found out that they thought that the season beforehand was going to be the end, and that was the reason why like certain people were supposed to leave. I think Bishop was supposed to be there. Psylocke was supposed to join the team. A lot of stuff, and then they just threw that away, and they did a new season. So everything that they're doing so far, great. I hate that it's weekly. I mean, you know, it gives me something to look forward to every week. I guess there's a lot of stuff in that aspect, but yeah, magnificent show.
Yep.
100%
Wolverine Solid X checking in, Brian Cannon checking in. I like how Cyclops is using his blast to do other stuff besides just shoot. Like
Yeah.
he was
Can
using
he
it for like
do
mobility.
repulsion like that? Like it's a beam
No,
of
absolutely.
light.
Absolutely.
Does it have?
No.
It's a
Cyclops is
concussion beam.
concussive.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's a
Yeah.
concussive blast.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay,
actually
because
light.
it's like
Yeah.
again, my exposure to X-Men was the cartoon in the 90s. I never read any of the comics. So
Mhm.
and I know like they were alluding to some of the things from the comics that were not touched in the show. Some things I'm aware of just from being around long enough, but like the relationship between Magneto and Rogue, and I was like, that was a thing, but I don't know how far it goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, dang it, I don't know enough about that. And then of course, the baby, I was like, this happened, but I don't know about that. And I was like, dang it, now I need to know all these things.
And
Oh yeah,
Madeline Pryor,
it's gonna
like,
be
oh
fun.
god.
so
But go ahead.
like no, but like you said, you know, and others have said, you know, the show really matured with us, and I think that as much of a table setter as that first episode was, especially if we're talking about the later parts of the episode when they go to confront Boulevard Trask and Master Mold, and the synergy of the team was playing out in that action scene.
Yes.
I thought was really well executed, you know, from the top down. And again, I go back to what I was saying about them letting Cyclops shine, because like when the Sentinels essentially destroyed the Blackbird and everybody's free falling, Morph turns into Archangel and grabs grabs Beast, which I thought was cool as hell.
Yeah.
You know, Rogue and Storm going to get people, and Cyclops is just floating there. He's like,
okay.
all right, bet. I'll see y'all when we get out on the ground. And he just like, you know, goes down and uses his blast to and my daughter was like, wait a minute. Doesn't he need them? And I said, no, he doesn't need them. You know, so, and you know, just that kind of stuff I thought was really, really cool. And then of course, obviously, give them the forecast, bro. And then letting Storm do her thing. She uses the lightning to turn the stuff, turn the sand into glass, and then calls up a hurricane to spin the glass everywhere. Oh, it was amazing. It's just an amazing scene. It was great stuff. Really great stuff. Oh, other Steve brought it up too. Gambit charging Wolverine's claws. You know, I don't think I've ever seen him do that even in the comics.
That was
smart
cool.
thing to do.
Although it looked kind of funny when he hopped on his back and they were like running together. Was like, whoa.
yeah.
And then he charged his claws, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know,
and my man Morph morphing into the Blob as the trampoline.
Now that's something I wanted to bring up is the usage of Morph in just these few issues has been way better than how they portrayed him in all of the beginning, you know, the other series.
In the original show, he was brought in just to die.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they had him turn into like people to infiltrate, but he was just turning into normal people. When they turned him into like all the other mutants, that's super cool. Yeah, and I was like, why didn't they never do this before? Like, this is how he should have been used.
Well, similar to Mystique, he doesn't get their powers; he just has their look.
No, I think he actually gets powers, dude.
No, like, he doesn't get powers. He doesn't get powers. He doesn't.
Well, he obviously has, because I was seeing some clips, and he turned in the Omega Red in the original one. It had Omega Red's freaking tentacles coming out.
He turned into the metal guy.
He turned into
Colossus.
And
his skin was metal, and he also, for some strange reason, had the katanas when he turned into Psylocke.
Which I found very weird. Right? It's like, okay, I know you're a shapeshifter, but you know, materializing katanas out of thin air. I mean,
and he has to have the powers, because if he was the Blob, nobody can move the Blob. If you use him as a trampoline, I mean, that wouldn't have worked if he was just regular. They would have stepped on his freaking, broke his spine. Even if he was fat, he would just been like,
he doesn't get their powers.
You know, we should look that up. Yeah, we should look that up and definitely make sure. But not to dwell on that, right?
With Omega Red,
like,
he was
right.
This is an original one. Omega Red got the tentacles out, and he wrapped them up around what you call it. I was like, that's powers.
It is, but but not to dwell on that, right? So obviously the first episode was really a really good table setter, kind of palate cleanser. Magneto comes in essentially in the second episode, and oh my god, the drama just went right through the roof. My goodness, the drama just skyrocketed. It was just crazy between the Rogue Magneto relationship, Magneto being arrested and put on trial at the UN, and his speech at the UN. Oh my goodness.
Dude, when he took him up into the air and he was like, what did he say? Don't make me let you down. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was
like
a bar.
up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a threat if I have ever heard one.
Yeah, that was a bar.
Magneto has always been on that level, and that's what I've always liked about the character, where he was just literally willing to do whatever it took to get his goal achieved. So that's one of the things I've always respected about Magneto as a character, and glad to see that the all the cartoons that have shown him have kept that in there and not been weak about that.
So Magneto, I thought was treated very well. And correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the same? I think it's a new voice actor for Magneto too, right? Because he sounds very much like Magneto's original. Like he did a good job mimicking his voice. Did a great job. He sounds exactly like the guy from the original. But let's go ahead and talk about it, because Kaiju Jones, you got to be powerful to put the people in the while wearing a leotard with the M on it. You're right. Okay. And I know people are going to complain about this, but yes, that was originally a Magneto costume from back in the 80s.
Oh, he's got the giant M.
Yes, he's got the giant M.
Yeah, they recreated. They recreated X-Men 200 with him standing there in chains with that same what you call it. They recreated that.
And like I said, I watched it after, but yeah, I've always again, regardless of some of his weird wardrobe choices, Magneto's still that guy.
Yeah. He is that guy. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. So obviously the big thing that happened was not talking about the end of the episode. We're talking about before that, when at the UN the executioner comes through, wants to assassinate Magneto. Storm throws herself in front of him and her powers are essentially taken away. I know a lot of people are very, very upset about that. Lori, what did you think when you saw it? Yeah.
I thought it was great writing. I was like, because they just showed off her Omega level power in the first episode with her just in the desert being so powerful. And the fact that she didn't have to take that bullet in essence, that she stood in front of, she jumped in front of it and took it from Magneto, because of the relationship between Charles and Magneto and the will. And there's something going on with their relationship where they're trying to believe that Magneto can turn over a new leaf. So she was willing to put herself, in the play, but she had no idea it was going to take her powers.
100%. But so the fact that she was,
oh God, now she's floored,
Yo, you know what I loved too, before that even happened? The UN was objecting to her, to them releasing Magneto. And she was like, shut up.
Yeah.
If you want to be saved, you will release this man right now. Shut up and listen to me. Right. We're trying to save your life. I thought that was a boss.
Like, he's trying to turn over a new leaf. Maybe just don't piss him off so that he goes apeshit on you, because you think that you are controlling him right now, but you're not. Like, he's here because he wants to be here. He gave up. He willingly came here. And it says, as soon as that happened, he was like, okay. Let's talk for real. Let me hang you 100%. In outer space.
100%.
I mean, you have to take her off the board, unfortunately. Again, she Omega level, Jean is Omega level, Iceman is Omega level. It's like you have too many people that are like ridiculously overpowered. So it's just like, okay, just like Superman. His cartoon would be so boring if they let him be his full strength. It would be the most boring cartoon ever. So you have to remove Storm. She's too powerful.
Yeah,
so it's fine. I'm cool with it. They'll bring her back in some way.
Yep,
it'll be awesome.
Yeah, and the way they handled the emotion of her, essentially leaving the team because she left, after it was all over. But then Morph was like, she's gonna
You missed the one thing, the emotion.
Morph
Did you
is-
see her jump when the lightning struck? She was
Yeah.
doing the thing, and the
Oh,
lightning
yeah.
came down, and she just, for the first time ever, like afraid of lightning or whatever.
She has no control over it.
She has no control, and she couldn't feel it, and she couldn't feel it coming. And that's kind of like her reaction to that. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm not even the same." I feel like a stillness within me. It's like I don't even know who I am anymore. So, but when Morph was like,
back, man.
"Oh yeah, yeah,"
that's that reintroduction to Storm is going to be so badass. This is going.
Well, she was
I'm
on the
looking
bus
forward to
though, driving
Mhm.
away. I was like, okay, she doesn't have her powers anymore. Would her hair still stand up like that? So
Old or some moose or something.
I was like, maybe it's just me that's thinking that. I'm like, I thought it
You
was
know,
like,
Lori's right. Lori's right. You almost think that she was literally doing the mohawk with nothing but static
wind or-
electricity.
Yeah, or
Static
something.
electricity.
Like it was her
Something like
powers
that.
holding her hair up, and now I was like, wouldn't her hair fall down? I don't know. It's just how girls think. Her hair is not
okay.
right now.
Yep.
That's fair.
Fallen's got a really good comment there. I do like how they touch on something being lost that's literally part of you. Storm couldn't feel the breeze anymore. I almost cried for her, like she couldn't breathe. That's 100%. And that's, again, so much of that second episode, the writing was god tier level. It was way better than a lot of stuff I've seen. It might be the best in Marvel animation we've seen so far in this newer, like better than anything they've done in What If. Like just as one episode. To me, I know this may be recency bias, at play, but to me, it's better than anything they've done. But dude, that end credits, like right before the end credits hit, that reveal had everybody shook. Everybody that didn't know, I should say.
Well, then there's all this other stuff in the writing, like Wolverine is talking about Jean Grey leaving, and they're still there. It was Storm that left. So I mean, like they're bait and switch, things that are happening in the story. They're definitely foreshadowing things that come to play in the next issue, in the next episode. And it's really good writing. So if these are the first 2 episodes, I'm looking forward to what else they're doing. 100%.
Really, really good. Really good stuff.
Storm can pull a Vixen from DC and just be like a runway model.
Oh, she could. She could do that. My goodness. Yes, she could. Yes, she could. 100%.
Either that, or she could go Loki and go work at McDonald's. Like, let's see where they put her. That's it, because they're going to follow her story too. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a nice branching 100%. Out of the story.
Beth Kynes, are you telling me this is an add to my list? Yes.
Yes.
97 is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
It is really good.
100%.
Beth, I promise
if you liked the 90s one a little bit, you should be watching this.
So Beth,
it is better.
I'm saying, Beth, even though Deadpool is not a part of this show, I promise you'll like it. Because she's a super Deadpool fan, like big time Deadpool fan.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, Deadpool was in the original.
I mean, Deadpool did show up in.
He did show up
in the 90s.
Yes, he did.
Straight up cameo, but.
Yeah.
All right. Any last comments on that? I mean, obviously, the reviews out there giving it, stupendous reviews going around the board. Would you give it 10s across the board based on what we've seen so far? I would.
9.5.
I would give it a very high rate.
Why 9.5?
You got to be a contrarian. You can't give it a 10. Come on, dude. Don't be that guy.
It's not perfect.
Of all the things that we have watched and talked about in the last, let's say, 2 years that have been controversial, and when they're bringing back things and we don't like it, and it's just
9.5.
Do not be that guy. Don't be that guy. Come on, man.
It's fine. He said what he said.
I'm not being that guy. I'm not saying it's not perfect. I mean,
totally gonna be that guy.
I love the show. Don't get me wrong, but like. Come on now.
All right.
That's fair. I want an apology tour from all the people that were saying, "Oh, it's going to be woke. It's going to be this," and they took Rogue's butt away and all this other stuff. I want an apology tour from all of them.
They took her butt away, but whatever.
100%.
Well, no,
Rogue's butt is not a main character.
Here, real quick. That whole thing with the butt was a one-off in the Apocalypse episode, because if you look at the rest of the show, she was never drawn like that. Everybody was curvy, which they still are in this particular one. It's just they made her. It became meme worthy. Everybody knows the meme. It was one shot in that one episode. It's like the 5th or 6th episode of the show, and it's just like, yeah,
that was my comment when they were like the two. I was like, it's all camera angles.
Well, that artist, either that artist got fired that day, or he was already knew that he was like, look,
because Rogue was never like that again. She was never like that again.
Exactly.
Yeah, never like that again. The entire thing. All right, guys, we need a palate cleanser. Let's switch gears a little bit. We got a whole bunch of other stuff really to talk about. X-Men 97. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go and see it and pay attention and watch it. It is appointment viewing every single Wednesday, much like our show right here on Culture Junkies Live. All right, so let's switch gears. Let's talk about a movie that's coming out this Friday, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, we're not going to talk about the reviews because a lot of people are talking about the reviews of it. I want to talk about the amenities that we can kind of get at the movie theater. So obviously the big thing that we've been talking about is the collectibles. And obviously at some theaters you get better collectibles than others, and we have a couple of prime examples right here. So at Regal Cinemas, their collectible is a ghost trap. And AMC actually has a similar one, a ghost trap, just like theirs. But we get a ghost trap, and I think Laura, you looked it up. How much is it at Regal's? It's $25, right?
Yeah, it's $24.99.
So that's actually not bad for it, considering how some of the other collectibles have been. But I wanted to ask you guys, and GQ, I think, is going to grab something.
Probably this. I think he has something like this.
It's always show and tell with G&Q. You never know what he's going to pull out of his collection basement. So we'll have to wait for him to come back and he'll actually have it on the screen. So what'd you go, GQ? What'd you go and get, GQ? I know you got something to show off to the people. Yes, so he's got the actual trap.
Yeah, this is the actual trap, not that little popcorn bucket. Now, here's the funny thing. I'm looking at that popcorn bucket. It looks like they just went to because I got this from Spirit Halloween. It looks like they went to Spirit Halloween and just bought a bunch of these and painted them.
I think that's smaller than yours.
Might be.
So can that one open up? Okay, yes, it can open up. So how do we know that they didn't? So how do we know they didn't just go to Spirit Halloween? Oh, and it's got lights. Okay,
theirs doesn't do that at all.
Yeah, theirs doesn't do that. But anyway, so AMC Theaters actually has their own version, and I think theirs has this laser thing on it. Yeah, the AMC Ghost Trap. It's like a little popcorn, but like a funnel with you can put the popcorn in. Kaiju Jones is actually, with theater are you guys going to? I see 3 different buckets. I don't think it's been decided. Normally, we go to either the Imagined for the Super EMAX, or we end up going to Cinemark for their big theater. That's usually the only 2 we have. I don't know if we have a Regal in our area. There is an AMC that has an IMAX, but we never go there for the movies. The Super EMAX has pretty much supplanted that as the better viewing experience. But we'll still go to AMC if they got a really good collectible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But
from the depths of the beyond, Sharita Jackson's checking in.
Hey Sharita, how you doing? Good to see you. But comparing good collectibles, right? We're going from the Ghost Trap to this travesty right here. The AMC Ghost Frozen Empire Slimer bucket. Look at this thing. Oh, so the Slimer bucket is this one on the right. That's the AMC one. This one on the left is the one that's actually being served at Cinemarks. That actually the arms will hold a popcorn bucket in it. But the AMC one was literally just this whack plastic mold of Slimer with just a big ass mouth. Like,
that's the dollar store version.
Yeah.
Right. Like, come on. What is this?
It smells like spray paint.
Like this is terrible. I would never want to buy something like that. But I say all that to say, would you guys what do you do with your collectibles when you're done with them after you buy them? Because Laura, you went and saw Dune 2.
Yeah.
And we know the Dune 2 collectible was this funky looking sandworm bucket.
Sex toy.
Yeah. Tano says it's a sex toy.
It was something that you get from Cirilla's Syndicate. Lover's
100%.
Lane.
Oh my
Also
goodness.
send a
Or
check.
Lover's Lane. Yes.
I still say that it looks like one of those containers that you clean your dog's feet in because they have like all that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It looks just like that. But like,
Probably was. It's probably how it started his life. And they were like, huh, Doomworm, popcorn
Yeah.
bucket. Let's go.
so out of all the popcorn buckets that have been, that we've seen, what do you guys feel is like the best, the most imaginative one that we've ever gotten?
Black Panther one.
Which one?
What was
Which
that?
The
one?
one that lights up.
So we're talking the.
There was a. I like how it was a.
What,
super
remind me of that one again. There was what was it exactly?
It was a. What's the best way to describe it? It wasn't round. It was like a square shape, but like spread out to and then you hit a button on the bottom and it lights up.
What was it supposed to
You still
emulate?
have it?
Like not his mask.
Yeah, I still have
or
it.
anything, right? Yeah, he's still.
No, it was just a bucket, and then it looked kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
The Little Mermaid one was actually really good. That was a kind of a translucent blue under the sea
seashell?
looking, yeah, basically. But it was, that was
Okay.
crazy.
Right.
Then they had the Vin Diesel's, I'm sorry, Dom's
Right,
Charger.
right. Dom's Charger, yes.
Oh no!
Didn't they have one that was Optimus Prime for the?
Yeah, they
for
had an Optimus
Transformers?
Prime one. They've had a million different ones. AMC is actually the one that has a lot of the crazier shaped ones.
Mhm.
But Imagine was doing the popcorn tins for almost every freaking movie.
Mhm.
I mean, every Marvel movie had one. I think, yeah, even the Marvels had one. Yeah, that's just something that theaters were like, hey, we can make money off of this. It's
Yeah.
cheap to make, but we can sell them for a premium.
$25.
Speaking of premium, the AMC one for the Ghostbusters Trap, how much did you say it was?
The same. It's 25.
The AMC one is 25. I thought it was like $40 something. No,
That might have been the one. I think that was the one that has that shield trying to emulate the trap having
the trap.
beams
Oh,
coming out of it.
okay.
The one without the funnel was 25. Okay, yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the funnel costs you an extra 15.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I did not realize
the
how
funnel's
many
an extra
buckets
15.
these
Wow,
freaking
that's crazy.
It's
Didn't realize what, Dido?
just plastic. Whatever.
How many different buckets? Because you got Dom's Charger, but they also have Fast and the Furious V8 popcorn bucket. They got Neon Genesis Evangelion, a Predator head. Fast and the Furious 10 got a turbocharger bucket.
Is this
So
on
it's like,
eBay?
there's-
Is this on eBay, the
I'm
resale
just
market?
I'm looking on Google Images.
Okay.
And just
Wow.
so many. They got a
Jesse
Demon
never
Slayer popcorn.
buys
I wonder what
bucket.
that one is.
Right. So I know
I
Ginger.
never
I don't buy
buy
popcorn when I go to the movies.
I'll
I'll buy
get popcorn,
when I
but
go to
I
the
ain't
movies.
paying for that thing.
Okay.
I
See,
don't want to pay for the popcorn either.
buying the tin, buying the collectible tin was actually worth it for me for certain movies, especially with the art, because they'd be nice pieces that you could put on the shelf, right? Some of these other ones, especially like this Slimer one, I mean, you might as well just throw this in the trash. Like, you're just throwing your money down the drain if you were to get the Slimer one. The Ghost Trap, okay, yeah, you might get that. You might put it on the shelf. But how much would you pay? Do you feel like it's crazy to pay like more than like, say, like 3 or 4 tickets worth of a movie to get a collectible? Because like what, the Sandworm was like $60 or something like that, wasn't it?
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, like
You got a Barbie freaking Corvette. My goodness.
Yeah, they had a Barbie Corvette. Yeah,
it was 25, but again, then you buy the popcorn and you get all the other stuff. It's like you're walking away with spending $60 on concessions.
Yeah, like,
well,
like come on.
Most of the collectible tins come with popcorn. The problem is I never let them put the popcorn in the tin.
No,
like,
it's
give me a
gross
separate
afterwards. How are you
it's like,
cleaning
give me a
that damn
separate bucket.
sandworm? Tell me that. How are
Exactly.
you cleaning
Exactly. So it's like,
Mhm.
give me a separate, bag or bucket or whatever for my actual popcorn.
Yeah,
the
but then
tin,
you
just
gotta
give it to
carry
me with
all
this
that
plastic
crap
still intact.
around. Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like, I'm already carting
100%
myself around.
pass.
Pass.
Well, here's the thing though. Cinemark for the longest, especially during the MCU's like phase 3 and a little bit of phase 2, was doing, they weren't so much doing the popcorn tins, they hadn't got there yet. They were doing insanely cool collectible cups. The
Yeah, I
cups
remember
is
those.
where a lot of them were actually catching people because like they had the Black Panther cup was like a hard plastic cup.
Yeah.
Nobody's done anything better than that yet. Even the Infinity Gauntlet cup and some of the other stuff, that Black Panther cup was so well made. It's just like, y'all kind of set the bar too high.
The economy is on it because we can't
Well.
afford to make it anymore and make a profit. So then we get the Slimer 80s plastic Halloween mask popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Well, Beth
Cost
Kynes will
3
pay
cents to make it. Sell it for 25.
exactly. Beth
She-
Kynes said she will pay a premium for anything Deadpool.
It does make me wonder, what are they going to do for Deadpool and Wolverine when that comes out? That
It's gonna
bucket
be a
might
Deadpool head.
Yeah. When do you think we'll get a Wolverine mask head? Maybe.
Probably.
I mean,
It'll be
Wolverine's
both.
name is in the credits, so
Absolutely.
they
I mean,
could
they'll both have like heads, the same way they did
Mhm.
the Gwen Stacy head or Spider Gwen head rather, and some of
Mhm.
the other ones.
Right.
It'll probably be something like that.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely have to see, and we'll have to add to our collection and see if they can pry us away from our own money. All right, let's move on a little bit more. Let's put that one to bed. Couple of things I kind of wanted to bring up and maybe briefly. Did you guys hear about shifting to games? Because this is really interesting. I want to bring this up. So I don't know if you guys know that PSVR 2 has been out for less than a year, I think.
Mm.
And Sony is already stopping production on the PSVR 2 headsets because nobody's buying them. And for good reason. GQ let me know that, the price tag on it was how much again?
It's $550.
$550 for a VR headset, which is as much as an Oculus, or excuse me, a Meta Quest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more than some versions of the Meta Quest.
Oh yeah,
it's about as much as the PlayStation itself,
No,
and
it's more.
it's not. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's more, and it's not even backwards compatible with previous PSVR titles.
And that's what got him 100%.
Like, no, the price would get them for one. For two, you can't play no old games, and you're not going to give us any current games really to use with it. Like,
who's buying it then?
Who's buying it? Like, so there's always those
Sony freaking fanboys, the same people that buy that portable new.
There you go.
Non-portable PS whatever.
Yeah, what do they call that?
The Portal.
The PS Portal.
The Portal, yeah.
But isn't that
same people are buying that?
But isn't that supposedly actually really you can use it outside of the home? But it just doesn't
only
work
if you have Wi-Fi somewhere else.
Right.
Outside.
It's not like it doesn't have 4G.
I think, and I think your PlayStation has to be on.
Yeah,
like the whole time.
You might be able to turn it. You might be able to turn it on remotely, but regardless of that, you got to have Wi-Fi somewhere in order to play it because you can't.
It just doesn't make any sense
to it at all.
Yeah, it just does. It doesn't make any sense.
Waffles
is like they pulled a Vita with PSVR 2. Like, I think even the Vita had better support than this. Because the Vita actually
independent.
It did, and because, at least with the Vita, you could download games from your PlayStation and still play them, right? With this, you can't play any of the old PSVR games. You can't use it on PC, so you can't use it with Steam or anything like that. It's literally, it's like the Virtual Boy, essentially. Maybe even worse because it doesn't even have any games, really, right?
Yeah, I think the problem
is I want to buy
is
one in the first place.
Yeah, I think the problem is because I have the original PSVR and I have its updated version or whatever, the one that they came out with like slightly near the end of its lifespan that had a better pass through and better tracking and all that other sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I got that for like little or nothing on Black Friday.
Wow.
I think the problem they're running into is they're forgetting the major rule of you can bring out all the hardware you want. If you don't have anything to go with it and to play with it, nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
So it's like, at least with the original VR, you had some fun games and stuff that worked with it, Resident Evil and a couple of other games, along with a big library of stuff on PSN. Mm-hmm. With this new one, they just brought it out because they could, because I think Horizon came out. Horizon Zero Dawn was one of the first games that could work with it. And it's like, that's one game. And people are still struggling to find PlayStation 5s on shelves. They can't find the damn thing, but you're going to come out with a VR headset. You don't have a big enough install base to support that.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like they just had a calendar and it's just like, oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's like, why don't you wait till it actually makes sense to release it?
Yeah, like
They could have been building up so much more hype. You know what I mean? For it, and now they've just killed it.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of people that know how to build up hype and, you know, really promote themselves, like Lori is a master of that. You should actually go work for Sony and actually put them up on game. You know, Waffles is saying they said they're looking into it being compatible with PC later, but it should have been that from the jump, like you said. Like,
yeah, there's no point in releasing it
there's
now.
no point. There's no point. 100% no point. It was another proprietary gamble, and they lost again. Yes, 100%. 100%.
I would say.
I mean, if you look at,
go ahead, Nambi. Go ahead, man.
If you look at everything right now, people are getting pissed off because they are saying that the PlayStation 5 is in the later years of its life right now, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? You couldn't even get a PlayStation 5 until like recently." It's like I got one first year it came out. Sorry for your loss.
Same day one.
Most people, I mean, they did not release a lot of hope. Like people shitting on Microsoft because there's no games. PlayStation had like 5 really great exclusives, maybe PlayStation 5 that is. And everything that was exclusive is now coming to PC. So like a lot of people are like, what the heck is going on with Sony? I don't personally know.
This has been a weird generation as far as next gen systems and that sort of thing goes. I mean, like you said, Xbox, you know, obviously had the backwards compatibility advantage. But I mean, I know y'all remember when I found that Walmart that was clearancing out PS5 games and other games for like $5. So that was just mainly because nobody could get a system. So those games are just sitting there, you know, collecting dust. So
get them out of here.
Yeah.
Bring in new inventory. These got to go.
Exactly. So it's just one of those things. And the PSVR, you know, it's like, okay, in my opinion, bring out a Star Wars game with lightsabers because we've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, we have.
Give me a solid Iron Man game, you know, something related to flying around and doing stuff. Just like give me all the stuff that virtual reality would really excel at now that you have the technology to make it happen.
Kill all the zombies.
Do that.
I want to shoot all the zombies.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. A zombie apocalypse thing. It's like there's all sorts of stuff that they can do. And it's just
boxing.
You know, yeah.
That's all I want. Boxing, zombies, Iron Man. What was that one? Jedi with lightsabers. They could do Harry Potter too, and I'd be okay with that.
That'd be matter of fact, give me a Dragon Ball Z simulator.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
It would be all good. Are you trimming your nose hairs? Is that what the whole scissors
thing
is all about? No. Okay.
I'm just saying whatever people, and the way I think gaming is going is just the whole thing is changing. What we know how gaming is I think it's dying. It's going to be more like how mobile gaming is. They're going to keep coming out with games that just generate money over and over and over again, and we're going to be seeing a lot less games that our generation likes to play. So it's kind of like time to just play your back catalog.
You got plenty of that. I think there may be an open bet on whether you actually will ever be able to get through your back catalog before you pass away.
Well, if there is, I'm trying, but it's difficult. I tell you, because today I was sitting there like, oh, let me play something, and I ended up just playing Binding of Isaac, and I opened up.
Of course.
But I was tuffling my head. I was like, should I play Ratchet and Clank? Because I was playing Dead Space, Ratchet and Clank, and Sly Cooper remaster, and then like I have a couple other games that I need to go back to. So, probably not gonna finish all this stuff. But
Simon says the saying, y'all remember Sword Art Online? They will not get me.
We ain't there yet. Where you gonna?
Yeah, we ain't there yet. But
I believe that's gonna happen one day. You get that neural link in your dreams. You be video games, and you just don't wake up, and you just playing video games.
I swear, I think that would be a day one sign up for that. Like to literally lose
if
himself.
I could have complete control over it for just my own thing.
He'd do that. Yeah, he would do that.
Shoot, like I don't want to have them have control over it, man. Screw that. They start putting ads in your brain while you sleep.
Oh my god, that would be terrible. Y'all, oh god, dude.
That's what will happen though. You got the free
100%.
version. Your trial period has run out. You can have two choices. You can get it removed, which could kill you. Or 2, you got to pay us to turn off the ads.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
forget
that's a
that.
nightmare scenario.
Do
I
it
can
like
totally
Repo
see it
Man.
happening though.
Repo Man with Jude Law and Forrest Whitaker.
God, yeah. We're just gonna come take
Oh,
it out.
boy.
You stop making
Mhm.
payments on. We're just gonna take it out.
Yeah,
Yep.
it'd be crazy. All right, guys. So moving on. You mind if I play a couple of show and tell, watch, react trailers?
Yes, let's do it.
Sure do it.
So there was one that actually came out today. Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra. This trailer is
They're combing this
Okay.
place,
They stole that number.
searching house to house.
they sold that number. It's what do you mean?
Capcom had 1943 already.
Oh man, the shooter. You're right. The Shump. Yes, you're right. But this game is a game that is about Black Panther and Captain America in the height of the rise of Hydra. And this story trailer kind of highlights a little bit of the story. So I don't know if anybody else out there got to see it. Share your thoughts of the game. This game is built on Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 5 is supposed to come out next year, right, GQ?
I believe so. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was already technically out.
Before the Germans,
Or
before America.
out as in people are building on it. Yes, but
Yeah.
I guess
No, this
maybe
game
the
comes
first
out in
game.
2025. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think there has been an Unreal 5 Engine 5 game yet, right?
Probably not.
Okay. So this is going to be one of many that are going to be releasing next year. But everything about this game looks fantastic.
He looks like
Right?
Carrie Payton, and he looks great.
Right? Right?
does.
Carrie Payton is playing Azuri, which is not T'Challa or T'Chaka. It is T'Chaka's father. So it's T'Challa's grandfather.
There it is.
That is Black Panther.
Fallen was right. Tekken 8 runs on Unreal 5.
Ah,
something that was already
okay. Okay. But this game cinematically looks incredible. If the game looks just like this, oh my goodness, I have to have this in my collection. I have to buy this. Dido, the question is, would you buy it day one?
Hey, if you're paying for it, sure.
Oh my god! If I'm paying for it,
Yeah, because like if I'm buying it day one, it's gonna sit, bro. Like, my God, should I freaking pan over to? Ugh, gosh, no.
no. All right.
Like, I'd love to. If people want to start, like,
donating.
If I open up a Kickstarter, and if I can get
GoFundMe?
enough GoFundMe,
Yeah, not a Kickstarter. You need a GoFundMe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it 100%, and I will stay at home if I can get enough money in that GoFundMe where I don't have to work, I don't have to worry about trying to feed myself, and hopefully I don't get sick. I would
haven't
definitely
seen this one
do it.
yet.
Now this is the Alien Romulus trailer that just came out today. Fede Alvarez's new Alien movie. I saw this earlier, but I want to let you guys go ahead and see it and tell me your thoughts of it.
Alien Romulus?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's
Hanging out by the airport, huh?
Oh, okay. Yep. Awesome.
Oh, Lori's in. She sold.
Quiet. I'm sold.
Yeah, she's in.
Yes. Wait, who was that?
I don't know who that was either. They
Ripley's
don't run
clone.
it in
They're
the
trying
credits.
to clone her again, and then clone baby.
Another Ripley clone. But
Damn
yeah,
it.
but no,
Mhm.
I see this trailer and I'm just like, okay, yes. Now,
I'm in.
unlike so Lori sold, I'm sold, but GQ, I want to get your thoughts as someone that actually saw Prometheus and Alien. What was the other Alien movie? Alien Covenant, right?
Yeah, Covenant.
In theaters. You see this trailer, what do you think? Is this going to be more classic Alien or is it going to be more of this other nonsense that we had before?
Hopefully it'll be more classic Alien, because Alien Covenant and Prometheus were just like, really? Y'all supposed to be scientists? Y'all just
They did some dumb stuff, but I'm gonna be the voice of some kind of good, what you call it. Whenever, if you look at it as a whole and looking at it as something that is, what's the word where they call it before things happen, because there was a buildup. Apparently, the way I see it is that the aliens did not start out as what we saw them. They evolved pretty fast, and you saw from their beginnings. give it to you. The dumb scientists, but scientists are like that. If they see something like, what the fuck is this? They're gonna get like closer and look at it because some people are like that. They're not gonna be like, let me back away. Even though most people, when they see things that look snake-like, should back away.
Mhm.
But the whole thing about scientists are being curious about stuff and trying to.
I'm not even talking
out.
about the curiosity, because it's almost like you're alluding. What sounds like you're alluding to, the movie won't happen if they're not dumb. Basically, I get that part of it. The part
That's
that
all horror.
the part
Let's
that
be honest.
completely took me out of it was when in Prometheus, spoilers for a movie that I think is 12 years old now.
Dude,
There's
that
the part
old?
in the movie
Shit.
where the guy's mask or whatever, breaks open the atmosphere and everything. He is outside of the ship with his legs over his back, and he's scrunched down and they're like, should we let him in? I'm sitting there like,
Yeah, that part was. I mean, they did
How
some
bad
dumb
guy?
stuff. I'm not gonna take that away.
He was.
I'm looking at it. A lot of people hated on
Homicide.
the alien, and I was just like, it was the prototype. Basically, it's not. Somebody engineered that stuff. That's why they were called fucking engineers when they saw them.
Yeah.
And somebody, they were made for weapons. They were trying to weaponize. I mean, the whole
absolutely.
aliens.
Yeah.
If you know about Alien and Aliens, they sent those people out there knowing what they were going to get into. They were trying to get it back. Both movies they sent them. They know because
Aliens
the android tried to. They all knew what the hell they were trying to get it back so they can study.
They were trying to get it so they could weaponize it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of
Waffles
that.
is right. It's a lot of money
Corporation.
in that. Mhm.
No, absolutely. And again, I understand it from a viewer standpoint. You have to let it happen, otherwise the movie won't happen. It's just sometimes they go a little bit too far with this. Just
That was a funny moment though too, where they were like, what the is that?"
Yeah.
And at that point, you should just kill it with fire. But whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
All right,
exactly what they
and
did.
obviously this is the other big trailer for the week that came out.
Yes, I'm looking
I'm
forward to
excited
this
for
big
Acolyte.
time.
too.
Now, it's weird about this, right? And I'm sure like everybody in the chat has seen the Acolyte. If you haven't, you definitely should go and see this trailer. A lot of really cool looking moments in this one. But I saw on the internet today, Star Wars fans, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. It's like as many of the likes that as this video has, it has as many or a little bit more dislikes, which is just what the
They
hell?
complain about every fucking.
I don't know. I
this-
think they're used to the bait and switch, though. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna give us cool stuff, and then it turns out it sucks. They show you all the good stuff in the trailer, so I think people are just jaded at this point. But this is action packed.
Hold up. I gotta stop it. There it is again. The haircut.
Oh, who cares? It's a hairstyle.
Why is that a
What
thing right now? I'm just
What
curious.
are we talking about? What haircut?
That.
The killer.
Oh,
Love the
that.
haircut.
That
Oh,
haircut.
no.
There it is.
Because black people have this whole
Back
thing
from
now
Squid
that
Game.
all they keep giving is that haircut. Like back in the 90s, all black people had high top
Look
days.
at that action. Yes,
good
I want to
stuff.
see that.
Yeah.
I'm still
Sorry,
mad
I
that
did a
Jedi
little
used
bit
the open the shopping mall door trick.
Mhm. Yep.
And then Carrie Ann Moss. My
Yes,
hero.
Carrie Ann Moss, Jodie Turner-Smith.
Man, I cosplayed as Trinity for years till they killed that character.
Who was allowed to use it? What is that?
That's the lady the girl that played X-23, right?
That's true. That's Daphne King. Yes, that was Daphne King. And yep.
God.
I mean,
Also
I don't
Now,
know.
what does this
something.
circle mean? Tell me what it means and let's know.
You were about to say something, GQ. What were you about to say?
Nah, the one thing that I was laughing about the first time I saw this trailer was, the Jedi Masters in there with the younglings. Close your eyes, this and that. You see that one alien that looks like he can't close his eyes. I felt bad for him.
That's
It's
cool.
like, that's-
ain't it?
It's like,
Like, that's
I
kind of
do
messed
not
up,
have
man.
eyelids.
That's kind of cool.
Right. It's everybody
my
close your
eyes.
eyes. They're like, you had that one alien with the orange head. It's just like, I can't.
It's like I got
I
a doctor's
feel
note for
bad for
this.
him.
I don't have to participate.
Exactly.
I'll go sit in the
I-
corner.
Yeah.
There was something
Here's the
online.
thing-
I didn't get a chance to read it where people were complaining about the younglings. Something was up with the younglings.
Huh?
I don't know. Someone was like, something with the younglings was off. And I was like, but what? I didn't get to read it. I didn't have time, but
Here's
just pick
here's
everything
my
apart.
take on that. Here's my take on that. Yeah, the fandom ran Jake Lloyd off and made him damn near kill himself.
Yes.
Like back in the
It's so
day.
messed up now.
There is
And with
no.
the Ahmed
And with
Best.
Ahmed Best. Ahmed
Yeah,
Best.
exactly.
Yep.
There is no child on this planet that would not jump at the chance to be in a Star Wars project.
Mhm.
All of us
Anybody.
sitting here on this show would jump at the chance to be in a Star Wars project if it was offered.
Yep.
Stop acting like this is supposed to be, oh, you shouldn't be in it because blah, blah, blah. It's like, get out of here.
Right, or
Every
you should
one of
say
y'all
no
would be a
because blah, blah, blah.
stormtrooper in a Star Wars movie if you had a chance to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Oh, this is they drive me crazy. They drive me crazy. All right, and you know, separately, this one last trailer. This is more for Dido, but the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves gameplay character trailer came out. And Dido made a comment that I thought was really, really interesting. Go ahead and tell the people about it a little bit, Dido. Uh-oh.
I said
I was about to
miss
say-
pixel art fighting games.
It's what?
He mixes pixel
I
art.
really do. I mean,
fighting
this
games.
looks great. Pixel art fighting games. I mean, this looks great, but everything is 3D now, and even if it's on a 2D plane, it's 3D.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's easier and faster to model a 3D than it is to draw pixel art or something. I don't know, but like I miss how the games kind of look, and I wish we could get one that was just like, because like back in the 90s, we were like, oh, one day they're gonna have one that's just going like how Cuphead came out. Cuphead looks like a gosh darn cartoon, and like
Yeah.
I guess we assumed that we were all gonna see a fighting game that's that fluid and that that much animation or whatever. And no, not really. I mean, you have some beautifully animated 2D games, but nothing like how Cuphead comparatively, and not even having to look like a 1930s, 20s cartoon, but just I'm talking about like how good the animation looks, where you just think like, oh, it's cartoony, but even Pixar art, it's just a dead art. I mean, you see some independent companies doing stuff, but not any of the big names anymore.
One of the last ones fighting games was King of the Fighters 13. King of Fighters 13 was the last one that had the kind of look that you're talking about, hand-drawn animation and all that. And crazy enough, I keep seeing it pop up on Amazon. I guess they re-released that recently.
Yeah, with netcode,
netcode rollback and all that. So
yeah,
I might actually pick that up just because that was a really good game.
I was thinking about picking it up too, even though I have for a PlayStation, or not PlayStation. I don't have the PlayStation. I have the Xbox 360. It makes me wonder if those servers are still up.
Who knows?
This is for you, Terry.
Yeah, that game's probably going to be good. I don't know when it drops. I mean, I usually buy every fighting game anyway, so I mean, I'll probably be getting that.
He said, Andrew said, did anybody see Sparking Zero Camp? I did, and that looks really dragging. There's going to be a lot of characters.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How many do you have to buy though?
That's a great question. That is a great question. Because the character roster looked like it closely rivaled or maybe even exceeded Marvel vs. Capcom 2. From the amount of characters that it had. It was like it was super huge. But like D said,
if you look at Dragon Ball Fighters had, I think, 20 or 21 characters at launch, somewhere around there. And then by the time it was done, it ended up with about 44.
Did we lose her?
Oh, where'd she go?
Did she drop
Come
out?
back.
It looks like her camera's off, or maybe she had something
She
that
has
she
a plugger comic in her new.
But like she's back. Yes, no, she does. She does need to plug her comic before we go off. 100%.
But no, if you look at that, basically half of the game, if not a little bit more, was DLC, and even funnier, half of that DLC was Goku and Vegeta clones. So
right,
that game had a lot of Gokus, a lot of Vegetas, which is whatever. But so we'll see what happens with Sparking. I mean, it'll be fun probably.
I honestly I was surprised by the gameplay about how good it was. With Sparking, so
there she is.
There's Lori.
All right, kiddos. We're like,
I figured it was something like that. Yeah, but
I'm back.
But no, Sparking did look pretty interesting. Will I buy it? I don't know. I'm on the fence. I might get it. I might not. But I'm interested to see, a lot of people really starting to play it. And one of the things I hated about Butoden is that it became a fireball, chuck fest, and I really didn't like that. I'm afraid it probably will end up getting back to that. At some
Wait,
point, because of the
Butoden?
way it is.
The-
Yeah, not
which one
Butoden.
that's-
Budokai Tenkaichi.
Oh, okay.
was
I was
like
about
that
to
back in the
say.
day. Sorry,
Like,
I misspoke. I misspoke.
Nobody wanted to play that on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Except for unless you were quiet, Mike.
Oh, no, well, it was the other guy.
Was the other guy?
Yeah, it wasn't quite Mike.
Aaron.
It was
Wasn't
another
Aaron
one
was
in
all
the
about
old
Super-
group.
Oh yeah.
Butoden.
AG, yeah, AG was definitely
Yes,
like
sir.
that. Yeah, he was like, you play Shin Butoden. It was like the most awesome game ever, man. We get to play it, and it was just like, really? This is
And
what
again, to his defense, there weren't a lot of options back then. Because I remember when GT
Not when it
Final
came to
Bout came
anime
out.
fighting games.
Oh yeah, everybody was
exactly.
hype about Final Bout, and Final Bout was not a good game. I don't care what anybody says. It was not.
Again, Final Bout had the distinction of being that one game that I picked up at Media Play on a whim, and then it shot up in value.
Oh
for
yeah,
whatever crazy reason.
yeah. It was crazy amount, crazy amount. Especially if you had the case. Especially if you had it in this
I
case.
have all that. Yeah.
Especially if you're in the case. Yes, it's so good. All right, but last but not least, before we get ready to get out of here, and we managed to pack a lot in today's show. Amazingly.
Yep.
Thank you everybody for being a part of this ride. It was really fun being a part of the show. But last thing before we get out of here, there's a rumor out there. I don't know how true it is or not. I haven't seen any of the tabloids actually talk about it. But the next James Bond supposedly is been chosen, and it is supposed to be Craven / Quicksilver himself, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Lori has a lot of choice thoughts about that.
I
Dido
can't
do too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Just speak
All
your
right.
piece. Go ahead and say it.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead and
I'm
say it.
sorry. So I think he's a good actor, but his voice doesn't match his physique. Where he's like this big buff guy, he's got all these big muscles, but his voice is like this. He's just, I'm quick. He's kick ass. In that,
didn't see that coming?
that's his voice that fits that character. But when he's being these big bad guys, like in Godzilla, when he was like the Marine, and I was just like, I cannot get over his high squeaky voice. So James Bond with this squeaky voice, I'm not going to be able to handle it. I just won't.
That's funny. No, that's funny.
Sorry.
That's what I say. GQ, what do you
Now,
think?
you guys
Rebuttal?
will all be
What do you
thinking
think?
the same thing every time you see him. Craven,
Probably.
Yeah.
you're gonna be
I liked
watching
him in,
on Craven going,
Yeah.
"Hey, man."
Well, if Craven ever comes out.
Yeah.
I liked him in
He shouldn't.
Yeah, I liked him in Bullet
saying.
Train. He was
He was
fun.
great at Bullet Train.
Yeah, but he was
Still
great
has
in
a
that
high
movie.
squeaky voice.
He does. There's no doubt about that. We'll see. I don't think of him as a James Bond,
I don't either.
but there's been 6 actors that have done it already, so we'll see what happens.
But they said that about Daniel Craig too. You know what I mean?
don't know.
When they announced him, everybody was-
I'm not sure they said it after they saw Layer Cake. When people saw Layer Cake, everybody
Layer
was like,
Cake came out after he did James Bond.
but I could have swore that came out before.
Really?
Like,
No.
yeah, I could have swore like,
No.
okay, maybe I'm
Well,
wrong.
he did
Okay,
a great
I'm
job.
wrong.
And I mean, like, we were all upset when they cast Ben Affleck as Batman. You know what I mean? But he was great. So we never know. He could be great, but it's not something that you can change from this actor. You cannot change their voice. You
Unless you do it in
didn't
post.
buy Ben.
Unless you do it in post.
Do it in
Like
post.
do a
Oh,
rape
God.
do a
Can
rape
you
park
imagine?
on him. Do a rape park on him like they did him for Darth Maul. Like change
Yeah.
his voice.
Or like the
Yeah.
early Arnold Schwarzenegger movies where it's just a completely different voice
Oh
actor.
goodness. Dido, didn't you watch Hercules in New York with his original dub?
Yo,
Yeah, it's
what?
terrible.
It's on Tubi with his original voice.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Everything's on Tubi.
Everything's on
Yeah.
Tubi. Oh my goodness. Of course it is.
Tubi has a lot of stuff.
Anthony
they
Mims
do.
was saying Craven will be better than Madam Web for sure. I don't know about that, man. I wouldn't bet any money on that. I really would not. Based on that trailer, I was like, they should have yeeted this into the sun. It never should have been made. Ever should have been made.
And then they blamed, you know who they blamed for Madam Web being terrible? Women. They were like, it's your fault for not showing up and watching this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch dumpster fire. I don't care what.
Companies need to stop doing that. or at least whatever rep is running their Twitters need to stop doing that because
Yeah.
that's not a good
Oh.
look for PR.
No.
So they did this. They pulled this crap when that female-led Ghostbusters came out.
Yes.
And now they're doing it now for Madam Web. No, it's just a bad movie.
It's
How
a
about
bad
that?
movie.
It's a bad movie. How about that? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how about, accept your own, take responsibility for your actions.
Oh,
You
people
missed
don't
the
want to do
mark.
that nowadays at all. People are scared of responsibility.
It's Hollywood. They don't.
Be held accountable, huh? No, really?
We
held
made a
accountable?
movie. We put a
What?
bunch of ladies in it. Why does nobody want to see this? Because it's not a good movie.
Yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
good movie. How about that? How about that?
Yeah, they will learn eventually. But
Yeah,
you
they'll
know,
get
I'm looking
fired.
forward to the second episode of X-Men. That's gonna be awesome.
Wait,
Yes.
didn't they fire
Uh,
somebody recently on Disney
They
too?
did. They fired the showrunner, I think.
For
No official reason has been given why he was fired. The showrunner of
X-Men,
and the
right?
writer of the first 2 seasons of X-Men 97 was fired. Let him go. His whole social media presence has been scrubbed. So
he
he
did
must have done
something.
something bad. He did something bad. He's wrapped up in something.
Here's the
Oh.
thing: when you go to work for the mouse, you better make sure you are
Gotta be
squeaky clean
Got
on the
to be
other
clean.
side.
Or they
Because
will
they
just
can
end
find,
you.
they'll
Mhm.
be like, hey, because the thing is, if he wrote both seasons already, they already got what
Mhm.
they need.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like, here's your money. Now we end your life and your
Mhm.
career. Like, you
Yeah.
can never work in this town again. Nope.
something
I
like
mean,
that.
look at Gina Carano. Yeah,
I was just gonna bring her up,
She's
Gina
still-
Carano.
Gina Carano's crying.
Like she's still
still-
crying about being
Yeah.
fired from Disney. And then it comes out that
She
Pedro
can't work
Pascal,
either. She can't
that
get
Pedro
any work.
Pascal, Pedro Pascal came out and said, "Hey, look, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying you can't say it. Just literally, just
He was
just
like, don't
say-
do it, girl.
he actually even told her, he was like, look, just
Mhm.
publicly say, I'm sorry. Even if you don't really believe it, just say it. Even if
Yeah.
you really don't believe it, just say it, and they'll leave you alone. She refused.
That's
Hey.
what happens.
Hey,
Pride comes before a fall.
yes,
And
yes.
like I said, here's what people have to understand, and I know we're running over a little bit.
Yep.
Disney, regardless of whether you think they're evil empire or kitty or whatever, their money is long. And when they mess with you and they fuck with you, they're good and they will rock with you for as long as it makes sense to rock with you. As soon as you give them a reason not to, they'll drop you as if you didn't exist.
Mhm.
Because I guarantee you, as popular as her character was from Mandalorian, she was about to get a spinoff show.
Yep.
I guarantee
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
She all
And it's just
gone.
like, well, couldn't keep your mouth shut.
all
Yeah,
gone.
what was the Rangers of the New Republic or something like that? I think that was the
Yeah.
name of the show. That was literally for her. Literally for her.
Mhm.
And she
Blew it.
blew it. Just
And they
fumbled
even
the
kept-
bag.
They even kept the back door open for her character to still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And she said
she-
she screwed that up.
Yeah,
Blew
all
it.
she had to do was just offer some contrition, say, I'm sorry, I don't really believe this, and stop putting her stuff out there. But no, I want to say whatever I want to say, but don't hold me accountable. Sounds like
It's like,
a
okay,
certain,
you can say whatever you want to
Yeah.
say.
sounds like a former
Free
president we know.
speech.
That still is out there that want to say, don't hold me accountable for what I say. I just want to be able to say whatever.
That's
No,
what people
no, sorry.
forget.
Doesn't work
There's
like that.
freedom of speech here, but it's not freedom from consequence.
Absolutely. That should be a shirt. I swear to God, that should be a shirt. Lori,
Yeah,
if
their
you wouldn't
brains
mind.
think that there's freedom from conscience.
Yep, 100%. So before we bounce out of here, Lori, I want you to share the link to your
Can I?
Kickstarter. If nobody hasn't found it yet, they really should. Lori is still like, have you gotten that backer in the hour that we've been
No,
on?
I'm still sitting at 99. Let me go refresh.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Man,
so
y'all-
maddening when you're just trying to like
Somebody better
go
back
up
her.
one.
Yeah,
I
somebody
got some
somebody
cool stuff
better
on there
come.
too. Hey, someone backed. It's 100.
Hey, there you go.
There
All
you go.
right. Yeah, I don't know if it was one of us, but it's still not too late. Story still need, Lori still needs your help.
yeah.
Meet those stretch goals. Keep on going.
Well,
So,
and what
if you-
happens on the last 24 hours, people are canceling because they're a-hole. So
Oh,
it's good to always have like a couple more because
Mhm.
Oh,
people will
absolutely.
inevitably be like, oh, I don't want to just cancel on the last like 6 hours.
Mhm.
It goes like
Yeah.
this. It's just up and down. It's terrible. I don't even want to look at it and when it's like counting down sometimes because it's just a roller coaster. But Hunter Backers
give her more
gets us
reason
more
to have
merch.
that. Somebody give her more reason to have that Final Fantasy victory music play.
Get that one.
I like it.
So good.
But
Indeed,
yeah,
y'all.
thanks for having me on the show, guys. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
It was
And,
great to
thank you
have
for
you
coming
back
by.
on and catching back up. You know, we'll have to do it again. Hopefully, it won't be too long before you're able to rejoin us on the show right here at Culture Junkies Live. But that's going to be it for us here at on the Culture Junkies Live show. For my friends, the great Adekuji, GQ, and Lori Calcaterra, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe. We'll watch X-Men 97 and go watch Ghostbusters this weekend. So we're going to talk about that as well next week, right here at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, across on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube and Facebook. So until then, have a great one. See you later.